following episode contains explicit content. You've been warned.
Well, you can't have nuanced opinions about anything anymore. So,
well, I mean, we can because we have our own podcast. Suck it.
Yeah, everyone can. So
everybody wants to be something they're not and have shit they ain't got. Don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Just be nice. You don't have to be that guy. Show some respect. Just be a person. Love one another.
You said it best. You wanted the best. Just settle for Bring Snacks with Jaxon and Max.
yes, sir. Welcome, guys.
Welcome to another exciting episode. What you got for us today there, Jaxon?
Action packed,
Action-packed. Okay. Okay.
filled,
Fun-filled adventure.
cream filled, sore throat.
Creamy
people at
lozenge. Creamy
someone-
lozenge.
Someone fucking tossed me a Ludens. Let's talk about something that you guys are not gonna probably vibe with because I'm up in the air on it myself. I think we all are.
What you got?
All right, so Planned Parenthood. All right, so that we've gotten that part out of the way. So now everybody take a deep breath because you might have got all your thoughts and opinions about Planned Parenthood.
Abortion.
Planned Parenthood Mobile Clinic will take abortion to red state borders from NPR.
Ooh.
And they've
Of course it's NPR.
So you've heard of the Bloodmobile. But wait till you get a load of the baby killer.
Oh, the Bloodmobile and the baby killing mobile.
Man, they've got diagrams of how it's so funny, like scrolling through this
does it look
article.
like a food truck?
No, it's like
that would be even better. It's like
like a
serving
Prevost.
up placenta on a hot plate.
No, it's like a Prevo, like an RV type thing. Man. Woof.
Okay, so Planned Parenthood, which is partially funded by the federal government.
Correct.
Now they're going to cater to states that are like going full abortion ban,
Yes, they
or
the
at
first-
least like after 8 weeks, no abortions after 8 weeks, that kind of ban.
Right. It says the first mobile abortion clinic in the country will be in southern Illinois. So right on the, what is that?
Indiana.
Indiana border.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
My U.S. geography. I mean, I'm just I'm a product of public education. So
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not in my Google Maps and I'm not driving there, I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah. I mean, logistically, it makes sense, I guess, because they're like, and this is, I'm not saying abortion makes sense. I'm not going to give my opinion on that. Because I mean, the reality is my opinion is only going to make or ruin your day potentially. So I'm just going to say that logistically, I guess it makes sense because we all know how it works. Physics works. If you're going to do something, you're just going to do it. So,
well, as long as if it's safe and it's not a threat to the mother, I don't know. And look, we don't have to get into the politics of or your personal beliefs on abortion, but again, to say that under no circumstances should a female carrying a child have an abortion, under no circumstances, absolutes don't work in society. Absolutes don't work for every person because we're all individuals.
right. I think it's
The morality of it. Now, again, there's like, what gray areas do you want to explore? I mean, you can justify it however you want, but in the end, it's all about bodily autonomy, which we have a lot of, like, we talk a lot of crap on wokeism, but it doesn't mean that we don't support your right to have an opinion, voice an opinion that differs from somebody else's. And it doesn't mean that we don't support the LGBTQ and trans people and all this crap. Like, it's all a matter of, I think my philosophy jives a lot with yours is, look, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, do whatever the fuck you got to do.
Right, but see, and that's where the abortion argument starts to differ because, you're dealing with someone else and like
Well-
messing with Mother Nature type things. And that's,
Well, the hardcore conservative Christians are the ones
That's what they say.
They preach that it's killing you're killing a person. However, if they're going to go full Christian backing with it, is that like in the Bible it actually states, and Chrissy reminded me of this the other day when we were just chatting about this. Didn't get into do a spirited debate, but in the Bible it actually states that life does not begin until birth. Truth bomb. Bam.
Yeah.
So if you want to go super evangelical Christian and the Bible is 100% true, and you want to say that abortion is wrong, well, it's like, it's not technically a person according to the Bible. So, and that's just semantics.
Yeah.
I'm not
you're
making
doing,
an argument for or against abortion. I'm just saying, look, there's an example
Yeah. And I mean,
of how ridiculous. But speaking of the ridiculousness that is abortion, I've got this is the one I mentioned to you right before we started recording. This I think is right up your alley,
all
just
right.
because
Shove
of
it
the
up my butt.
imagery. I'm gonna bend you over this Baphomet
I'm
statue.
excited.
Satanic Temple goes after abortion bans. Boom.
I actually have a little history with this, with learning about the Satanic Temple that operates out of Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes, look at you.
So yeah, see, I know a little bit. I also know that. Well, I don't know because I've never been, but as conceptually, I have it put together that they are primarily a political activist group.
Yes.
Definitely advocating for bodily autonomy.
Mm-hmm. It's
What'd
like
you
you're.
say
It's
there?
like
What'd you say they were
It's
going
like you're-
after now? They're going after the abortion?
they're going after abortion bans. They're actually filing suits. But it's like you're reading from the article that I'm looking at. It's funny.
Yeah.
You are well versed in your research into
Lucian Greaves.
the Satanic Temple, which I want to remind our listeners that we don't necessarily espouse any of these beliefs, or agree completely with their ideology or theology or lack of theology in this case.
Mhm.
But the Satanic Temple should not be connected with or misconstrued with the Church of Satan.
Yeah, I guess it's different. I don't know.
The Satanic Temple, apparently they are super big on making that distinction.
Right.
So here I'm going to read you the highlights from this article. It's pretty good. So the Salem-based, boom, there you go. Satanic Temple is suing Indiana and Idaho in federal court over their abortion bans, arguing they violate the religious rights of people in those states.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing that I love about what they do is they really put in perspective that it's a belief at the end of the day that we're talking about here, and that's the thing that's standing in our way. So if we have beliefs can be created, at any time, your mind can change on a dime, and it's just a matter of a belief. So and the religious freedom argument works both ways, and that's where I feel like it becomes really interesting, because how could you say that it's I don't know, it just kind of balances it out.
Well, there should be balance in all things, because if you only hear one side of the argument and you censor the other side, you get to direct the narrative.
Right,
and that's
right.
just not, that's not a healthy way to grow as a community or a culture or a nation.
Right.
But I think this is funny. So the other side of this, a spokesman for Indiana, Attorney General Todd Rokita, told the Indianapolis Star the U.S. Supreme Court decided abortion isn't protected under the Constitution. This new lawsuit merely offers weaker arguments for the same discredited right. So it's not a
Well,
constitutional
yeah, the fucking
right to have an
Constitution
abortion.
was written with a feather.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, In the latest lawsuit, the temple argued each state's ban violates the rights of people who took contraceptives and still became pregnant, denying the right of an involuntary pregnant woman to engage in the satanic abortion ritual.
I love that they call it that. That's so fun.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. And
Now wait,
okay.
this goes back to what you were citing earlier, because you're a little bit more knowledgeable on the Satanic Temple than I am, by quite a bit. But the temple's ritual includes the tenet that one's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone. So, my body, my choice.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to reiterate that to listeners,
To give
the viewers.
the specific
Yes.
tenet of what they're
Yes.
claiming is being violated.
Yes.
Right. I know they've had other skirmishes with the Satanic Temple, has had other plights with a lot of some. I think the one I remember is Arkansas, and there's actually a documentary on this demonstration that happened. That there are outside of courthouses, there are like 10 Commandments monuments.
Yes, I know this story.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they made the argument that, to someone coming into court, seeing those who isn't a Christian makes them feel like they don't belong or they're not being represented. And so they proposed and had a Baphomet, which, if you're not familiar, is like the sitting goat, basically like the
I'll
Christ-
bring up an
the-
image
the-
of it.
Yeah,
I'll
the
bring up an
Christ
image
pose.
of it right now.
It's like the inversion of the Christ pose, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a goat. It's a satanic idol or whatever. I may not want me to call it an idol, but I'm probably screwing all that up. But they had a monument built, a serious, either bronze. I think it was like a bronze poured statue. They were willing to install free of charge.
Well, actually,
alongside
I think
the Ten
that
Commandments.
I think the end of that story was pretty much that they sued the state for the right to put up the statue, and then they put up the statue.
Right. For some reason,
think that was the end of it.
I don't think the statue remained. I think they paid a lot of money for it. So I think once they, I feel I'm not sure on this. Maybe other people can look into it, and I might myself. But I think that they did all that, installed the statue or sat it in place, and then took it so that they could continue doing that same thing without having to build a new monument. But it's kind of nice to know, because I'm not going. I guess for me, selfishly, I'm not going to fight that fight unless I have to. Getting down, bare knuckling with Christians, or I don't know, Christian or any denomination of Christian religion, fight tit for tat on certain issues.
Yeah.
So that the king card can't just be played all the time without question. That's what I find heartwarming about it, is that it's like, it feels like, I know people are going to be shocked.
It gives you the warm and fuzzies.
It does. I'm sure I'm going to piss a lot of people off saying that, but
well, no,
at the end of the day, they're both non-violent. Well, for the most part, not non-violent.
Yeah.
But
there have been cases surely on both sides of people's opinions getting a little, or again, theological differences coming to a head, but really it's much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
And I would like one more thing, and then I would like you to proceed to your next story. However, I don't know if the Satanic Temple did this on purpose, but in the center of Baphomet, he has the little symbol for medicine. So the staff and the two snakes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to,
is modern
comment on it, but
medicine?
it's-
No, but I'm saying it's there.
right.
Are they insinuating
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Maybe.
modern medicine and pharmaceutical companies are part of Satanism?
Conspiracy question.
Brain snacks.
Question.
Brain question.
What is his name? Von Kleiss.
Dave Von Kleiss.
Love
You guys
Dave.
look him up, man. You won't find the actual 9/11 documentary, but you will find a bunch of his music videos, and I'm going to use that term very loosely. And it is awesome. It makes him lose a lot of credibility to me personally because I saw those videos
No.
after.
No.
but no, Dave Von Kleiss, like, again, phenomenal. Was it Loose Change? Phenomenal documentary.
Loose change.
It wasn't Loose Change. What was it?
Talking about what are you talking about?
The Loose Change, the 9/11 documentary that we watched on.
Oh yeah, it was a 9/11 truther.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And this was early, like way before the internet was. You were able to stream video. Like it
Right.
would still take you 10 minutes to download porn.
I also heard today, funny enough, on that just for a second.
Yeah.
There was apparently a series made by Spike Lee. He's like a filmmaker. He's a I'm not real familiar with him. I know he's like an icon and like
Oh yeah.
street films.
He's
and
done
stuff.
some really great things. I think he did a documentary. I'm not going to say a documentary, but he did a Malcolm X kind of like historical
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I guess this had to be a year ago or so, but had a 9/11 series on like HBO Max or something.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
and the original cut featured some airtime for 9/11 truthers. And he succumbed to the pressure after a few interviews, and that was taken out. So-
Yeah. That man, look, you can't silence dissenting opinions. If you can't present evidence to support your argument, you can't just silence the people that disagree with you. That's not the way that the world's supposed to work.
It doesn't
Unless
fit,
unless you want to live in, a fucking dictatorship.
right. It's like a admittance of defeat or having a weak argument.
Mhm.
It's kingly.
Was it cutting out a man's tongue does not prove him a liar. It only shows that you fear what he has to say.
Exactly.
Thank you, Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Okay, so what's your next topic?
All
Bring it
right.
on.
If you want
Let's
to call
keep this thing rolling.
if you want to call this a topic,
What's
trying
the
to-
next story? I
trying
need
to figure out
stories.
where, because I always say where first. All right. So I want to say this is in Ireland.
Ireland.
Ireland. There was a woman who had 55 batteries in her body, alive, self-harming by eating batteries.
What?
And
the f-
she went under the knife to remove these batteries from her stomach.
Okay, I was just like, was she going? Which direction was she going? That's why I was trying to figure out where the story was. Because
I think she was trying to get energy. I really do. I really do.
No. There are compulsive eating disorders where people just eat random things.
Right.
I have one friend. I won't mention names, but she had a problem. She had this nervous habit of like twisting her hair around her finger
Yeah.
to the point where she was actually pulling it out, and she would
Oh my Lord.
eat it.
I wonder if that was like out of I don't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's and like it's like nervous tick. There's some brain chemistry there where when you get nerved up or anxious, you do something. Like there are people that like bite their nails.
I do this.
Yeah. By the way, he's twitching his nose if you're just listening to the episode. but like picking at your thumbnail, chewing on your fingernails. I mean, some people scratch.
Some people eat batteries.
Some people eat batteries. Some people eat hair.
But
no, that's crazy. 50 batteries.
55.
And I'm guessing she lived.
55. She lived. They cut her stomach open and they were able to squeeze her stomach to encourage the batteries to go out her ass.
So she shot out the batteries.
She basically, yeah.
I guess they got lodged in her intestines. So they got.
Well, no,
they made their way into her stomach.
They were in her stomach, and
they were working their way through her bowels, and it was just, I guess, blocked up.
Right, and well, it says that because of the weight of the stomach, it shifted the position of the stomach, and I guess everything has to be in perfect, in alignment, in the right spot for everything to work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So with the weight of 55 batteries in your stomach, it shifted. And I don't know if it kind of as a bag, if it I don't know, closed up, wrinkled up. It's crazy.
I'm interested to know if these were AAA batteries, were they AA batteries,
AA's and AAA's,
D-cell batteries?
No, AA's and AAA's.
I bet she could deep throat saying D batteries.
You're a pig. You're a pig.
Oh.
Listen,
I have a sense of
funniest
humor.
line of this article is, and I'm quoting here, to the best of our knowledge, this case represents the highest reported number of batteries ingested at a single point in time. Okay. Like this is just it's so funny. It's you trying to keep trying to be, professional about it.
Look, maybe, okay, we're looking at this the wrong way. I took the initial reaction that she has some anxiety issue, some nervous tick issue where she's just ooh, battery. Ooh, battery. But maybe she's a circus geek.
Maybe. I mean, she definitely should,
if you can swallow a battery, I bet she could swallow your meat sword.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is in Ireland and the world records are called Guinness, so who knows? Maybe there's a connection.
She is now the world record holder for eating the most batteries.
She should be. I mean, after doing all that, might as well call him up and say, "Hey, I got something for you."
Hey, you were 3 short. You want to give that another go?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sorry, you fell short on that one.
That is so crazy.
Okay,
yeah,
so That's
what happened in the world.
I have 3 stories, but I can cut it down to 2.
Come on with it.
But here's where we. I'm glad you started with the abortion talk because I don't necessarily defend the conservative side of again, 0 abortions allowed. But I don't necessarily. Again, we don't really take sides because we can see value in both sides because we're not fucking idiots that have blinders on. But
you can't have nuanced opinions about anything anymore. So,
proceed. We can, because we have our own podcast. Suck it.
Yeah, everyone can.
So, this is an slightly older story, and I'm going to go with the woke side of stuff right now.
All right.
So this is a slightly older story. We didn't cover it. This definitely would have been a topic that one of us would have picked and found. However, I stumbled across this accidentally when I was shopping at Walmart yesterday. And yes, I shop at Walmart because I'm poor. Musician.
Okay.
So just to give you guys an understanding, this is a woke topic, and I by no means have any feeling about it whatsoever, other than I was excited that I got this item on discount.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Come on with it. Hold up. What's going on? Is it Pride Skittles? What am I looking at?
Is
Is it really? Hold on.
It is.
That was
it is
my best guess.
It is woke ass Skittles, man. Woke ass Skittles.
Oh hell!
And to quote, I have an article pulled up for it as well, but I want to read straight from the bag on this one. So there's nothing on the front, and it's just rainbow artwork, and the Pride Pack, Skittles Pride Pack.
Okay.
What
kind of flavors do we have?
Again, I can get. It's all the same flavors. I'm explaining why.
Oh,
this is awesome, and why this was such a fail as a marketing ploy and a fucking virtue signaling. Because that's all it was. These people, like, they just want you to eat their fucking candy. And most of the people that are eating this candy are kids anyway. So unless you're, a 38-year-old bass player for Velcro Pygmies, then you eat Skittles.
Yeah.
But on the back, it explains what's going on. We're giving up our rainbow so that LGBTQ plus artists can share theirs. And then there's a link. And you know what? I'll put the link in the description. They partnered with GLAAD, and that's GLAAD. So that's not me just mispronouncing GLAAD. It's GLAAD. There's 2 AAs. I don't know if the AA goes for like Alcoholics Anonymous. So I don't know.
Who knows?
But here's the funny thing. So they're going with Pride Pack.
Fuck off. I'm
okay,
sorry.
No. Again, here's the beautiful part. So they labeled it Pride Pack.
Yes, let's see.
Gay pride, right?
Right.
Here's the problem with getting rid of your colors. White pride.
No, it's gray pride.
Oh, I mean,
Gray aliens.
they're white.
I don't understand how getting rid of the rainbow, like,
These are lizards, by the way. I mean, they're regular Skittles. They have no color.
Right. But just from a marketing perspective, like, what does getting rid of the rainbow say about your stance? I don't understand. We're giving up our rainbow, so that doesn't even really make sense.
It's so...
They should have brightened the colors. They should have made them...
It's so that the LGBTQ allies can be seen purchasing their woke-ass Skittles.
Well, yeah.
It's all virtue signaling all across the board.
I'm just speaking
And that's,
from
again,
like a
I
design
support
perspective.
every person's right to be whoever they want to be, love whoever you want to love, marry whoever you want to marry. I have no problem with this in theory, but the fact that this was just a marketing ploy to try to get people to buy more Skittles.
Yeah.
And it obviously failed and pissed off people because
It's discounted
to $2 a bag. I got 3 of them, man.
when was because you know they don't do this shit unless it's Pride Month, right? So you had to be back in what, June?
Yep. June 14th. Time Magazine. Time Magazine wrote an article on this. Not everyone on the internet is pumped that Skittles went white for Pride Month. It is.
I actually do like. I think I'm coming around to this.
You can't eat, like, you can't script this kind of crap. So, yeah, Skittles, blah blah blah. Others shared that they love the semi-brand new bag, finding it a positive public relations move on behalf of equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender peoples. And again, high five. Also,
if you told them they were going to lose money on this, they would have reconsidered. So
yeah,
think about that.
Hindsight's 20/20 though. But you got to look back and you go, oh my God, white Skittles, and it's called a Pride Pack.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were just like, yeah.
It's subliminal.
But that's the problem with caving to other people's identities or other people's perspectives or ideologies and abandoning your own to try to satisfy theirs and try to cater to theirs. Because even once you do, they're just going to find something else to come after you for, because you can have the most positive messaging on the planet, like Skittles did with this Pride Pack, supporting LGBTQ plus artists, and they still got backlash from the woke kids because they're just like, "Oh, now you're saying what? White pride?
You might as well not.
What are you Nazi Skittles?
Yeah,
you got Nazi Skittles.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
And that's the title for this episode, Nazi Skittles.
And I'm pissed that you're even eating them.
You can be as mad as you want. These are delicious. Again, I've been eating Skittles my whole life.
Yeah, that's what
I'm trying to kick the M&Ms because they're going woke too. I heard they're getting a transgender M&M that's going to identify as a Skittle.
Yeah, is that going to bother you?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Is that going to really bother you? They already made the one less sexy or whatever.
Oh, the peanut butter M&M's is the hottest one, and it's the most delicious one. So
No, I love those.
I don't really
peanut butter
care.
ones. I
So
always
no.
look forward to having those when I
But
come to
that's-
your house.
But here's the proof, at least in the South, because I live in the South.
I live
mean-
in a dirty hole called the South.
Again, this did not go over so well.
No,
No,
no one cares.
when you have to discount candy and it's not Halloween candy, it's
Yeah.
not specific, like day after Christmas, no,
Yeah.
no discount. Why are you discounting regular Skittles?
Yeah.
And they are delicious. You can hear me.
Yeah, and how and why you gotta like, how are you gonna explain that to kids who are just now getting used to Skittles, man? That's it's tough to explain. What happened?
That's because they're grooming them.
It's like telling kids Santa Claus is not real. They're like, oh
We're gonna-
no, no.
Wait,
The Skittles
wait,
all
wait,
taste
wait,
the same.
Rewind that. What'd you say?
Which part?
Did you say Santa isn't? Dude,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, man. It's
Who
Chrissy.
the-
Chrissy puts the presents under the tree. It was your mom, and now it's your new mom,
Dude.
Chrissy.
Chrissy, is Santa not real? You son of a bitch.
I know, man.
Way to ruin my year.
Well, it is. It really is because I mean the Skittles are all the same flavor and they're just different colors. And then once the colors are taken away, then you don't get that experience of thinking that the yellow
yeah.
one is lemon and thinking that
Yeah.
the green one is green apple
Yeah, I definitely.
and the brown one is whatever the hell that's supposed to be.
I taste the difference. I
Do
taste
you?
the difference. I'm
Do
not
you
gonna
really?
lie. Yeah,
Well, it probably
it's
might be.
it's all. I know it's all mental, but still. But yeah. So again, the woke fucking flag waving just totally backfired on Skittles.
That's what I call flying your pride flag half staff. It's a losing
Nazi Skittles.
retreat. Retreat. That's what
Now I
Skittles
can
say.
continue on with a story that's kind of associated with that.
Come on with it.
Okay. Continuing on to another, again, example of how your woke ideology, and not you personally, just like you at home, you listening,
Stop
hopefully
yelling at
you're
me.
being open-minded enough to continue on with listening to this show. But your woke ideology can have a huge detriment on your life in general because if you're catering to other people's ideologies and not being true to yourself. So here's the greatest example, and I landed on this right before we started recording this. So please bear with me as I actually read this live, but I could not help but click on this because I hated him even way back when Jon Stewart was still doing the Daily Show. We got Trevor Noah currently of the Daily Show. After losing 75% of his audience, Trevor Noah's final week of the Daily Show averaged only 363,000 viewers.
Yeah, man. I mean, all these podcasts have triple.
Oh yeah, easily.
The big guys. I mean, no one cares about that shit.
Well, here's the thing. Even with, and I'm reading from this article now, and this again, link in the description. But even with the media promotion and Paramount Media Networks promoting Trevor Noah, the viewers just didn't come. Some far left, and here again, I'm reading from this article. Some far left will blame American racism for Noah's failure, even though many black entertainers are successful.
Yeah.
Other people believed Noah lacked charisma and his left-wing humor wasn't funny. Had Noah had the courage and conviction to go after Joe Biden as he did Donald Trump, perhaps things would have turned out a little differently. And now, again, this website is obviously a little bit more conservative. I think the Newsroom. So probably slanted against Trevor Noah's ideologies, which is fine. You're entitled to your opinion. You have your own website. professional and you're reporting as everybody else is reporting, basically your fucking opinions. And here's where I disagree, because I think Trevor Noah is remarkably charismatic. He's good looking. He's very well spoken. He's great on camera. Yeah, when he's done interviews in the past, I've seen some of the interviews that he's done. He's really entertaining and engaging and funny.
Yeah.
The problem is that he bought in to the woke ideology and catering to that audience to the point where the same problem that SNL has, which I think we mentioned in a previous episode recently, that he's so focused on catering to this one narrow niche. And that's not something that you can do with any degree of success on a big scale.
I'll say it like this too, to add to your point. He is a part of a giant. I don't know. I forget. I don't know what network it's on. What network is it on? The Daily Show.
Well, it's owned by Paramount.
Okay, so
the Daily Show was comedy. It was Comedy Central.
People don't care about what major corporations have to say, and that's what you are doing as a mouthpiece for said corporation. We've probably heard 10% of what Kimmel, Fallon, Trevor Noah, anyone has to say, because they sold their soul to a corporation.
And their entertainment soul.
And but there's no way to spin that to where that doesn't, come up, because there's just a dollar amount that you can put on someone to make them, silence whatever they have to say. Or, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the thing.
I'm going to go out and in those people's defense. And Stephen Colbert, I loved him when he used to just rip on everything.
Yeah.
Way back in the day with the Colbert Report. I mean, that was a phenomenal show.
And I've heard people say that he's actually a funny dude. Like all
he's
these people
hilarious,
are funny.
But he's also he's a trained actor as well. So he didn't start as a comedian. He was playing a part when he did the Colbert Report. He's playing a part now, in my opinion.
Right.
But here's where I would come to their defense in this, is because if Paramount or NBC or whatever, if they came to us tomorrow and said, we will give you $5 million for 2 seasons,
I would say I would call you and I would sell my soul. And if you disagreed, I would say, fuck you. Like I would try to find someone who looks like you.
Dude, again, I'm with you on this, because you know what? After two or 3 seasons, we have all that money, and you damn well right, I'm going to make sure that we get per diem for traveling and all this other crap. Have somebody else do all the work, and we just have to basically, again, do what we do now. Just it maybe skew our perspectives on things a tiny bit.
Hell yeah! And if anyone
for 2 years, and then because when we retire, then we can just talk shit about oh my God, can you believe that we let these corporations tell us what we wanted to do as we're sitting in a fucking pile of money?
Yeah. And that's something Tim Dillon actually talked about, the 2 years and then after at scale now is all the celebrities we know.
Yeah.
Now he claimed his argument, because he's like a huge podcaster and has been podcasting for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Even before it was cool, is now saying, well, podcasting is going to die really, really, really soon, and it's going to have a specific fate, which is large networks coming over to podcasting and you're already seeing it a little bit, to where they have these awesome sets for these celebrities, and they come on and do, a 30-minute show, and it's like a little compromise between network television and podcasting, as far as you can open up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but what's interesting is seeing where each celebrity goes, if they realize that, because they're behind. So if some of them realize that, now I just get to say what's really on my mind and then do that, then it will be interesting. But obviously,
Damn.
if you're still on the gravy train and you want to keep riding, you're gonna have a lot of these, these podcasts. These new podcasts are going to be catered to celebrities, and they're going to be just a hair less centrist.
Well, that's
or whatever.
One of the reasons that I agree with Tim Dillon's sentiment there regarding the potential death of podcasting. I don't think it's going to happen because people will reject. I think people have wised up now. People will start to reject a lot of these major media corporations.
They already have,
in the classical sense,
yeah,
that are trying to transition into podcasting, because what they're doing is they're taking their business model from television, which is obviously failed and is failing now. I mean, it was successful for 50 years, but now it's just an oversaturated market. So they're just trying to take that model and shove it into podcasting.
Right.
But that model doesn't work with podcasting.
Right.
There's a reason
it's a completely different sport.
Well, for instance, we could be going through Anchor FM or Anchor.com, whatever that web hosting is, and we could sign up and they could throw in random commercials in the middle of our show. And at some point, if we ever get advertising offers, then we would maybe entertain it. But if we get to the point where advertisers would be interested in pursuing a relationship with us and paying us to say something, hopefully we can just reach out to our fan base and say, hey, we want to keep this completely uninfluenced from, again, potential advertisers. So you guys just send us what you think we're worth. If we can make something with this without having to, again, come out with advertising revenue.
Yeah, but but like what you're saying is
unless it's Chaz pussy flavored chips. That's
yeah.
the only endorsement I want.
Hell yeah.
No. That and Liquid Death
together.
Yes. Those two together.
America's new snack.
Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, I completely agree. But because podcasting is like there is no, it's like the Wild West, like it might be an oversaturated market, but you have to be good. And I mean, we're not, I think I don't know. I mean,
I'm proud of what we've done. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that we may not be the best, but hey, I think we're getting better every week.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. You look at early episodes of some of your favorite podcasts. I mean, they've evolved, they've changed. I mean, whether the production value, we started out with pretty good production value comparatively.
Yeah.
But, on substance, we're having to,
evolve,
refine and evolve. And it just, that's part of the thing. You can't just copy and paste the same old shit in a different form, because it doesn't work that way. So I agree with you. I think people will reject it. It's just a matter. It's like, will people care enough? Which I believe they will, because a lot of these podcasts help a lot of people get through their days now. And
absolutely.
As do with me, like it really does make a difference to people to have something of substance to listen to, and just something you like. And I think very few people. I mean, had podcasting been around, a long time ago, it would have, say, like hypothetically speaking, before, major networks. I mean, it wouldn't, potentially they would have never even existed, because they wouldn't have had the opportunity. So,
well, they're going to try to figure out how to censor podcasts. They've already done it to a varying degrees. I think Apple Podcasts has banned a couple of people, and some of them for legitimate reasons. But I know Apple's done it. Spotify, I think, did it to a couple of people, but some of these people were extremely way far right wing and borderline legit calling for an overthrow of the government.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are certain. Complete 100% free speech, yes, but with it, unless you're espousing hate or violence, and then at that point, you're just
yeah,
you're getting into a gray area there where it's just maybe you shouldn't be allowed to talk about organizing people to go, murder everybody in the Capitol. Let's not do that.
It is moving out, as most things do. It's moving out of a purist state.
Yeah.
But it's still relatively unchanged.
Well, this is why I don't think that podcasting will go the way of the fucking, corporate media, traditional media.
Mhm.
The reason it won't is because you have the way that it's set up is okay. So you have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, all these apps. That's all they are. But the beautiful thing about us is if we had a problem with our hosting company, we could switch hosting, or even I could actually build our own little mini server and just host all the MP3s directly on our site and share it as an RSS feed, and any friendly app would have access to it. So you can either download the episodes directly from us, or you could go to another app that didn't drop us,
Right,
or censor us.
right.
And that's the beautiful thing about podcasting.
The Tonight Show can't really do that because there's
No.
a lot of suits involved. There's a lot
there's
board
a
meetings
lot of
and
money,
shit.
a lot
I mean,
of money involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think podcast, like Tim Dillon, I think he didn't hit the nail on the head with that one, but where his opinion
I'm also telephone wiring what he said. So you know what I mean? That's just the essence of what he said, which made a lot of sense to me. But the joke was, posing the question to Jennifer Aniston's new podcast that's centered around the cast of Friends. Who the fuck is even Jennifer Aniston? I mean, if you were picked up and chosen by the system and you were taken to heights, you put away who you really are.
Jennifer Aniston is a saint, and if you don't stop talking, I'm going to shut this video down.
Do you see what I'm saying? Though?
Yeah.
Will we get an introduction into who people really are?
Yeah. No. No. You'll still see the public face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I feel you.
Who cares what you have to say about fucking Ukraine? I mean, who cares what I have to say about Ukraine? Or whatever.
I do. I value your opinion, though.
Well, yeah.
I think it's all just bullshit.
I say, well, yeah. This is my opinion. Well, yeah, duh.
Do you got another spring snack, another story for me?
I don't. I'm hoping that we can get a more feature length bonus in the place of me having another comment.
I've got one more.
Go for it.
And I mean, this is almost turning into a woke, hate filled episode, and that was not my intention. However,
it's easy to do, Max.
However, it is the 1 year anniversary of Let's Go Brandon.
Oh my God.
It's officially been around for 1 year. Let's Go Brandon
seems like
has been around for 1 year. And it's here's what's funny. And this is Fox News, which, hey, kitty.
This is Possum.
Possum.
She makes a frequent appearance.
I know. I like it. So this is Fox News. So obviously this is a conservative site, which you did an NPR thing to fire off this episode. So, hey, look, we're trying to, but we'll end it with Fox just because, again, the anti-Biden chant, "Let's Go Brandon," has been around for 1 year. The right-wing catchphrase, which is used to humorously lambaste President Joe Biden, originally stemmed from a profane chant at a NASCAR game. Do you remember that clip? Did you get that clip?
I do.
Okay. So yeah, now it's Talladega, where again, I was just playing.
This weekend.
We did the kickoff show, and it was the Alabama Motorsports Hall of Fame. By the way, that's where the show was at, which is literally right there next to Talladega Speedway.
Yeah, or if you're in the South, Dega.
Dega. car handle real good.
Yeah.
But the announcers were having a conversation, and apparently the entire crowd, for those of you that again didn't hear this when it actually happened, the whole crowd that you got, I don't know, 50,000 people going, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden. And like it's coming through the announcers' mics, which you have any idea how loud that is?
Yeah.
Because they're in an isolated box.
Yeah.
That is blocking most of the meow, meow, meow sounds that from the race cars. And you can hear that in the interview, and the person that was doing the interview, I forget the girl's name, and it really doesn't even matter, but it was fucking hilarious as she tried to cover it up and just say, oh, it sounds like they're cheering for Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Nice save.
And that was like, I'm sure at the time she was just like, I just saved the day.
Yeah.
I just saved the day. And it's like, and it became the biggest right-wing meme.
Dude, it's literally on everybody's
On-
truck.
It is on everybody's truck. I mean, Chrissy made some Let's Go Brandon shirts.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
And
stuff like that happens. I mean, you got
They sold like hotcakes to the point where I actually had to make screens, and I screen printed a couple of Let's Go Brandon shirts. And that's just me being capitalistic. I don't have to say Let's Go Brandon. I'll just say fuck Joe Biden.
You're just moving them shirts, baby.
Yeah, I'll say it. Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say, fuck Donald Trump too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
and
'em
none
all.
of these people, again, just a friendly reminder, everybody, none of these politicians give a flying fuck about us. And just because you think Trump isn't he's an outsider, dude's still like part of the upper 2% of the world's richest, most powerful people.
We ain't never had a fucking outsider near
He has
politics.
nothing in common with any of us. Just to point that out. Not saying he's a bad guy, not saying he's a good guy.
No, hold on.
Just saying.
Hold on. Let me bring this shit full circle. What'd you say, man?
What'd you say, man?
You say Santa's not real?
Santa's not real? Are you saying Trump is not Trump is not the second coming of Christ?
Oh my God. What do you mean, man? Santa's not real?
Look, everybody needs something to believe in. Some of the liberals think it's Joe Biden. Most of them are smart enough to know that's not true anymore. And then you have, the right wingers that think that Trump is, again, like the second coming of Christ, that he can do no wrong, that he had.
Right.
And did Trump do a lot of good for the country? Yeah. Did Biden do some good for the country? Maybe. Yeah, his track record isn't really all there.
But how much is it just, par for the course?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it's
again,
inevitable that some good and some bad will happen, regardless of who the fuck is in there.
It's much more the same. So again, guys, we try to make sure we keep the hands off of the hot button political topics. But I mean, again, if all you're doing is, you're literally going back on your entire political record if you're going to support Joe Biden and say that he's for, the LGBTQ community and that he's for the black and brown community, like his track record as a congressman is like, as a senator, like completely proves that claim to be 100% false. And that people were just like, they were so over Trump that they hyper focused on, well, this is our only option.
Right.
Dude, there are always other options, guys. So look, hey, again, I'm not hating on you or anybody for having their own opinions, but make sure that they're your opinions and you're not forming them out of the biases that have been forced down our throats because of advertising and because of your friends believe in this, but and you're just going along to get along.
Hell, it's not your fault if you believe what you believe, because until you actually sit to question it, I mean, you really can't be held accountable because you were prescribed the belief.
Question.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Did the Democratic National Convention plot
Sandy Hook?
Oh, that's a no.
I just opened that engine up.
No, I'm just gonna look. Hey, I'm not a Bernie Sanders fan because I think he's an idiot when it comes to economics. Because democratic socialism. Yeah, that's worked exactly this many times since the history of humanity.
I saw someone plug a power strip, plug the plug into the power strip, and there you go. There's Bernie.
But I mean, he was way more popular than Biden and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
So that's the Democratic Party's fault because they conspired to bury him.
He's cool.
Well, no, he's not. He's like the nerdiest, crappiest, poorly spoken motherfucker on the planet. But what was so enthralling about him was 'cause he was actually, well, he was fairly well spoken, but he was espousing these awesome ideas to the Zoomers and the younger millennials, which I'm an elder millennial, and ideas like canceling student loan debt. So you went, all these kids that went to college.
What are we interested in?
Oh, you got, $200,000-$300,000 worth of student loan debt because you needed a nicer place to live while you were going to college, and then you also needed food, and then you needed all this other crap. So you want to get that stuff for free. That's very appealing.
Welcome to the world.
Well, welcome to the world, motherfucker. Shit ain't fair.
For free.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got, man. Again, happy 1 year anniversary, Brandon. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Brandon.
And now eat another handful of those Nazi Skittles.
Oh, Nazi Skittles.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Nazi Skittles. I love these white Skittles.
I got my pride Skittles.
I'm happy they took the rainbow out. I could never taste it anyways.
You know how much I don't like them colors.
Oh my Lord.
That was so bad.
Fucking
no. Again, great in theory, horrible execution with the Skittles.
What's crazy is like it's funny, like people who aren't racist typically don't feel the need to go around talking, like doing extra type shit to prove they're not racist. They just carry on with their fucking lives. It's the same thing for these companies. It's like, to prove that you're not a piece of shit or a racist or whatever, like, you would think you just wouldn't have to prove yourself. So what does that really mean about you, Skittles?
You're qualifying yourself
or whatever.
And also just trying to earn brownie points.
Yeah.
And again, I just think it's ridiculously funny that it backfired. Because the same woke people that would be normally applauding something like this go, well, now it just looks like white pride.
It's like you were Skittles, you were a little too close to the fire there.
You're dead.
Back up a little bit.
Step away from the white Skittles. So yeah.
I love it.
With that, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed this risque episode.
Or not.
We hope that we were only mildly offensive and that you stuck around till the end. If you would, do us a favor, go check out our website, brainsnackspodcast.com. And if you haven't, sign up for our newsletter, which, again, I'm like 6 weeks from, it's been 6 weeks since I've updated.
That's all good.
Sorry.
Brainsnacks.gov. See you
Brainsnacks.gov. Oh, that's when you know we've officially sold out, when we start taking that government money.
No. I'm sure
also, if you're listening to this episode on a podcast app, leave us a rating and a review. If you're on YouTube watching this right now, hit the bell notification, give us a like, and drop us a comment. Let us know how racist you actually think I am.
On a scale of
1 to Skittles.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, M&M's, man, we're all chocolate on the inside. Come on.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Some of us are a bit nutty.
Some of us are nutty.
And peanut buttery. All love, guys. Y'all have a good one. We hope that you enjoy this episode. We'll see you next Thursday. Later.
That shit's so funny.